Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Who else feels this way? A crypto ghost town that's coming from Eggrag Crypto here. Is it just me, or has crypto just turned into a virtual ghost town lately? It seems like it's mostly OGs and their inner circle dominating the scene, but fear not, because this eerie silence might just be a sign that we're in the midst of the disbelief phase, guys. And I'm sure you guys have seen this before, the psychology of the market. Disbelief would bring us over here, the disbelief phase. This is right before we see another pump. After the depression, now, I gotta say, it hasn't been terribly exciting over the last little while. We did see a Bitcoin pump for a little bit, up to 31.8, 31.7, give or take, and then the price just came cratering back down, and we've just been kind of trending downwards. We haven't actually made new lows here, so that's a good sign. But, you know, crypto Twitter sometimes just doesn't care about the actual technicals. It's the touchy-feely that really gets to people. Eggrag Crypto goes on to say, hold on tight because the crypto herd might be gearing up for a stampede. It's all part of the crypto roller coaster, and the excitement is building. Keep your eyes peeled for the newcomers and fresh blood, as they're bound to join the party soon. The crypto world is always evolving and changing. It's just around the corner. So grab your virtual popcorn, folks. The crypto show is far from over, and the next wave of enthusiasts is about to make a grand entrance. So, I mean, you know, just looking at this, let's look at altcoins for a second. The total 2 market cap. We can see for altcoins, the total 2 market cap, we are basing back to mid-June levels. So again, we did see that initial, bout of excitement over the SEC lawsuit, the Ripple verdict. So we got excited back in mid-July, but you know, that excitement did die out. We did not see that sustained momentum that we were anticipating. And the market is still relatively flat, guys. Even it looks even worse for altcoins. It just hasn't really moved up too much. And even at the top here, we are, making the same levels that we saw back in August of 2022. But from there, I mean, even that wasn't sustained. So pretty much just flat for a good year now in the altcoin market. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but the halving is just around the corner. This one from Titan of Crypto here, 32,000 a Bitcoin by the halving. In past Bitcoin cycles, that was approximately about a 54% decrease on the average from previous all-time high when the halving occurred. Based on this assumption, Bitcoin price could be gravitating towards $32,000 in the next halving cycle. An interesting metric here, looking at halving cycles from the past, and about 54%, 52%. And so if we see another 54% down, that would bring us to about 32,000 if we're taking the all-time high for Bitcoin here at about roughly 70,000, 69,000, give or take. A 32,000 Bitcoin could be in the cards, and that is April 2024. So again, not too far away. I mean, considering what we've been through thus far. The other positive thing I wanted to mention is this article here. A.B. Bernstein predicts Bitcoin ETF approval is imminent. So there's always that beacon, that glaring possibility there that Bitcoin, the ETF, could be approved. And they're saying, they're predicting here that it could be approved between October 2023 and March 2024. In the financial sector, few innovations have granted as much interest and excitement as the prospect of crypto exchange-traded funds. Although Bitcoin has long been the focus of financial attention, the introduction of crypto ETFs marks the beginning of a new era in investing in a variety of digital assets. As mentioned above, A.B. Bernstein, one of the world's leading asset managers, has made some interesting predictions for the world of cryptocurrency. Specifically, the firm believes that a spot ETF on Bitcoin could receive regulatory approval between mid-October and mid-March. They say down here, if the prediction comes true, it could lead to increased interest in institutional investment in Bitcoin. So again, that would be leading up to the halving. That would in fact inject more money into crypto as a whole, just because if money is going into Bitcoin, obviously the rest of the market will follow based on retail speculation. Even down here, they're saying that the report was not exclusive to Bitcoin and the prospect of their ETFs, but it could extend to a broad landscape of other cryptocurrencies across the industry. So altcoins, guys, could get that boost it needs. The other thing we have to remember is how early on in this cycle we are.
We are in the early stages of this technology, and I really want to provide some examples of that. It generally takes about 25 to 30 years for human beings to adopt a new data transfer technology. Radio was invented in 1890, but wasn't commercially available until the 1920s. TV was developed in the 1920s, but wasn't in homes until the 1950s. Email was invented in 1969, but most of you most likely didn't have an email address until 1997. There is one that I really want to focus on, and that's TCP/IP, which is the internet, for those that don't know. It was developed as a DARPA project in 1970, but it wasn't really commercially accepted until 1995 when it was rolled out with Windows 95. There's another important date, which is 1983. 1983 is when TCP/IP was accepted as the standard protocol for internet development, 13 years after it was created. Well, here we are, 13 years after Bitcoin was created, and we're just now starting to talk about standardization. This is not a coincidence. Adoption at this stage is not a technology problem, it's a human conditioning issue. Every 13-year-old in the United States has only existed in a world where Bitcoin has existed. 3 years from now, every 16-year-old will have only existed in a world where Bitcoin has existed. 16 years old is an important date because it's generally when someone becomes interested in becoming a developer. They are the adoption layer. We here in this room, we're the infrastructure layer. It's our responsibility to create an environment where every 13-year-old American has a framework upon which they can build the next world on. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
So, I mean, how early are we? Pretty early. The adoption is taking place as we speak, guys. And, this crypto sector, the spec market, that eventually is going to go away. That said, I do not think it is imminent, and I do think there is still time to make money in this crypto bull run. It's a very different landscape this time around, and that's why I'm choosing a bit of a different strategy for my picks. As I've said in the past, and it is the beginning of the month, so it's a good time to join if you guys are interested. I am trading in this spec rally. I'm going to be opening up my entire portfolio, the $10,000 plus portfolio that I've opened up to my patrons, but also, guys, I'm going to be opening up my XRP, my Bitcoin trades, my HBAR, my Solana, and all my other picks in this coming bull run. So for only $5 a month, you guys can follow me, and I've kept it affordable for a reason. I want you guys to stick with it. I want you guys to follow me throughout this bull run, and hopefully we can pull the trigger on some of these coins even before the bull run really commences. So the metrics that I'm looking at are very, very different than the real world utility. Real world utility is going to definitely play a role, but I have a feeling a little later on. The other thing that I wanted to mention here was this from Digital Asset Investor. It was all planned. He says, Satoshi equals government, perfectly disguised as a libertarian movement. Herd them in. Now, this goes along with the theory that the government created Bitcoin. Interesting to note when the halvings occur. Listen to this, an interview between Caitlin Long and Scott Melker, the Wolf of All Streets. Listen to this.
I thought about this last night reading Pantera's monthly newsletter, which I always look forward to reading. And of course, they're starting to talk about the halving. And if you look at their model, it shows Bitcoin crossing 100,000 around about the time of the US presidential election in 2024. Okay. And I made the joke, I guess my laser eyes will have to come off right about the same time as the presidential election. Satoshi did this on purpose, folks. Satoshi aligned Bitcoin halvings and bull markets to the US presidential cycle.
It makes sense. It's 6 months before every single time. And anybody who's watched any halving cycle knows that it takes about 6 months for that supply reduction to really start to play into the market. It's interesting. I literally never thought about that.
Things that make you go, right? Yeah. Another interesting point I wanted to bring up here was this, guys, from John Deaton. This seems significant to me. Retweeting out Ryan Selkis's tweet, Coinbase is buying back debt at a steep discount and co-founders repurchasing huge positions of shares, but markets are still bearish? This doesn't make sense. I mean, Coinbase is rebuying up their shares, their stock, at a discount. Cryptocurrency exchange Coinbase has increased its debt buyback offer from $150 million to $180 million. The exchange plans to repurchase $180 million worth of its 3.625% senior notes due in 2031. The offer will expire on September the 18th. So guys, why is Coinbase rebuying back up their stock? Again, something we should be paying attention to. Let's bring up Coinbase stock here real quickly. And it would just be coin. Here we go, Coinbase on the daily. You guys can see this, the inverted. And you guys can see earlier I did point out that this is the inverted head and shoulders pattern. We did make a top up here. We have retraced a little bit, but a great retracement here for Coinbase. Looking to be where the market is going. Let's not forget BlackRock has also invested in Coinbase. Okay, BlackRock and Coinbase are now partners. Does BlackRock bet on losers? Somehow I think not. So, this is also fairly significant, I have a feeling as well. So I wanted to thank John Deaton just for pointing that out. XRP trading volume is also very, very heavy, guys, despite the downturn, despite that we aren't seeing the price appreciation. This one courtesy of Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed. Analytics research conducted by blockchain data provider Keiko shows that the increased interest in XRP enabled its average daily trading volume to rise as high as 462.8 million in August. Okay, so we are seeing a huge surge for XRP trading, and these are the August numbers specifically. We've just started out September 2023, but this is XRP compared to other coins like Solana, BNB even. And so BNB is the next largest in terms of market cap, but XRP trading volume even higher than BNB. We've got Dogecoin, Litecoin, Matic, ADA, Tron, DOT, and TON. Okay, and so this is trading volume, but XRP just blows them out of the water by almost 4x. So some additional information that I do think is wise to be paying attention to. Wanted to thank Wheezy for posting that. And then what about this? Okay, so lots of news coming out, not necessarily Ripple related, but very crypto-friendly news, like Visa picking up Solana to expand their cross-border payments. Some are wondering why Visa didn't use the XRP ledger like XRP Crypto Wolf here. Expand means they're working with other chains. Of course, they are using USDC, and so that is an ERC20. From Crypto Sensei here, Visa is going to want to have a lot of options. So, I mean, even though Visa did pick up Earthport, let's not forget, for $250 million, which is Ripple enabled, they are the biggest they are the biggest credit card company on planet Earth. They do need options, and so interoperability for them is first and foremost. There could be some markets that Solana is better than XRP. I don't think there's going to be a lot. Let's remember Solana isn't a bridge asset. So big news though, Kai Sheffield here also tweeting this out with regards to this new partnership. Following a Crypto.com issuer pilot, Visa expands stablecoin settlement capabilities with Circle's USDC, adding pilot programs with merchant acquirers WorldPay and Nuvei. WorldPay also, by the way, a Ripple partner, and utilizing the Solana blockchain. So again, guys, let's not get discouraged. All boats will rise. Remember, there isn't going to be one cryptocurrency that rules them all. But this is good for the entire crypto space. The adoption is getting more and more prominent, which will, in fact, bring more value to those coins that do solve problems. So Visa, global leader in payments, announced its next step in modernizing cross-border money movement. Visa is expanding its stablecoin settlement capabilities to the high-performing Solana blockchain and is working with merchant acquirers WorldPay and Nuvei through their live pilots with issuers and acquirers. Visa has already moved millions of USDC between its partners over the Solana and Ethereum blockchain networks to settle fiat-denominated payments authorized over VisaNet. Also note this, guys, a quote down here, by leveraging stable coins like USDC. So the stablecoin portion to this is very important. And global blockchain networks like Solana and Ethereum were helping to improve the speed of cross-border settlement and providing a modern option for our clients to easily send and receive funds from Visa's treasury. This again from Kai Sheffield, head of crypto at Visa. Visa is committed to being at the forefront of digital currency and blockchain innovation and leveraging these new technologies to help improve the way we move money. So just another tool in their arsenal. And, I was thinking that Solana price would react to this. If I put Solana here on the hourly, let me just throw this on the hourly real quickly. You guys can see there was, in fact, a bit of a spike yesterday off the news, but we have since come back down. So Solana is still up a little bit since that news broke. Not by much, though. I mean, up by 2-3%, give or take. Solana, by the way, full disclosure, I do hold a position in Solana that I purchased late 2022. And yeah, I mean, if you guys hold Solana, or even if you don't, that is certainly going to be one of the coins that I highlight in my Patreon. Again, guys, I'm opening up my entire portfolio. So if you want to see what Working Money Channel is trading, this is the place to come. I'm going to keep moving because there is a lot to cover today. This one from Cypress Demand and Core here. So Ripple is selling unregistered securities according to the US SEC. Meanwhile, they're also sponsoring blockchain events, which kind of doesn't really make sense, right? So building momentum in Washington, this was published last month, and this is coming up, I think, November 2023. And so this is a big event. The blockchain and digital assets community made an impact in Washington, solidifying our influential role in policy decisions. So, of course, they're looking at crypto-specific bills, as they mentioned down here, supporting innovation, but also the regulatory framework for cryptocurrency in the U.S. With momentum building, we are seizing the opportunity to amplify our efforts with our annual BA Policy Summit taking place November 29th and 30th in Washington, D.C. Also note down here, Blockchain Association has made remarkable strides as the leading trade association advocating for the crypto ecosystem in Washington. With more than 100 crypto native members and a rapidly growing team, we continue to make substantial impact in the regulatory space. So regulatory clarity, the policy summit, this is all about regulation And so you go to their website here. You can see Policy Summit. Join us now. Even up here, there's a countdown to the Policy Summit. You can see some of these major players, U.S. House of Representatives Richie Torres, Tom Emmer, who have been vocal with regards to crypto adoption and crypto regulation. And then you go to the sponsors list, and sure enough, who do you have? Ripple, Consensus, and Hedera, which again, HBAR, another one of those cryptocurrencies that I do hold. So isn't that interesting? Ripple in court. Nevertheless, they are the ones sponsoring this event. Is it all a show? I mean, James Wallace here also did a recent interview with Payments, and I'm not going to go over it, but I will link it in the description just because I think it is significant. CBDCs and how that's going to change global payments. I mean, a lot of this stuff we already know. This is an up-to-date interview, though. He does work for Ripple, obviously, and so he does give, that perspective. A quote here, just a quick quote. "You have the ability to do what I would call last mile," he added. "If you want to send something across a border to a relative in another country, you have to go sign up with a payment provider or a bank and use a mechanism to conduct the payment, and then another payout mechanism at the end, the last mile. But digital currencies make that process so much simpler and more effective by reducing unnecessary intermediaries." Guys, let's not forget this technology is going global, and Ripple has already permeated so many of these markets with their CBDC efforts, with the inclusion of financial technology, with the integration with the financial infrastructure. So a lot of these countries are already Ripple enabled. That last mile, the last kind of finishing touches for this crypto adoption, the CBDCs, how to transfer money, and of course that US regulation is also going to play a huge part in this. I also just wanted to mention, just with regards to the Policy Summit that I talked about earlier here, everything CBDC, everything central bank will be out there at this CBDC conference. Take a look at who's going to be attending, guys. Central Bank of Nigeria, the Bank of Ghana, Ripple, Brett Mollin from Ripple is going to be there too. So the types of people who are going to be there, also James Wallace from Ripple with the Bank of Israel, a representative from the WEF, the Banque de France, the IMF R3, the Bank of Canada. So all these central banks and Ripple. Ripple is the cryptocurrency company that is attending this event, along with all these other banks, central banks, and major institutions like the IMF and the WEF. Go figure. Are you really surprised, guys? Are you really surprised? Bill Morgan bringing this to our attention too. Ever-increasing adoption. Great news. Wondered why XRP price was down a little in the last few hours. Well, Yoshitaka Katao just posted this. International money transfer service using Ripple's money transfer solution utilizing XRP will be gradually expanded to the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia. So they're opening this up. This is the actual tweet here that I will link in the description of the video. They are opening this up. And Swiss XRP here saying, in all seriousness, I'm getting seriously strong Tesla vibes with XRP, where Tesla was achieving these huge milestones and the price did nothing. All of a sudden, boom, I could be wrong, but that is my feeling. And I mean, yeah, at this point in time, XRP, we're hearing about, I mean, this is par for the course for XRP. And I think the ongoing disappointment for XRP holders, we hear about all this great news and yet the price does nothing. We do need that spec market excitement. We do need this for XRP to reach its all-time high and eventually move beyond $3.84. And guys, that's going to happen in the next bull run. But this joint venture from XRP Holdings and Ripple says straight up right here that they are going to be using XRP for these transactions. So they talk about the companies involved and this joint venture between SBI Holdings and Ripple. They say they're pleased to announce the launch of an international money transfer service using the crypto asset XRP for bank account remittance services to the Philippines from Vietnam and Indonesia from this month. Since 2017, SBI Remit has been utilizing Ripple payments provided by Ripple for its international money transfers. In 2021, SBI Remit was the first international money transfer service provider in Japan to use Ripple Payments crypto-enabled payment solutions, which utilizes none other than the crypto asset XRP as a bridge between two fiat currencies to perform cross-border remittances from Japan to a digital wallet in the Philippines. This time, the scope will be enhanced to bank accounts in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia. With these countries receiving a large share of remittance to bank accounts, this is expected to drive further adoption, guys. So again, driving further adoption with this initiative. And this is a brand new statement here, utilizing XRP as of September 6th, 2023 in that part of the world. Of course, Southeast Asia, already regulated. And as I was saying a little earlier, we need that spec run. We need the excitement. We need the volume to really get XRP past all-time high. So where am I cashing out my XRP? Well, you guys can find out if you want to follow me on Patreon. That's patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. I want us all to succeed this bull run, guys. That's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.